first thing I did in Ghana because on the I'm sorry.
No problem, bro. No problem. Big up, everyone. Welcome to the Cool Chelsea podcast. Another Blue Alliance show. I'm with my bro Coachella. Talk about Chelsea versus Liverpool match, and also we're going to share you latest Chelsea news items. Big up, bro. How are you?
Yeah, I do apologize. I was busy. Let me mute this. I was busy. My wife was on the phone with me. Something she had asked me to do. I told her I wouldn't be able to do it until the show is over. But she understands. I just had to explain. I didn't know I was the intro had stopped. So people that heard me speaking my dialect, I didn't cuss anybody out. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
All right, but that's by the way. I'm good. I can't complain. I am looking forward to this one, and it's looking like it's gonna be something we had anticipated. That given that Arne Slot, he said that he will make a lot of changes. I don't think it will be a lot. Probably you could argue he's playing some sort of mind games because that win is still important. They would want to establish dominance over us by doing a double over us in the current season. So I'm not banking on him making as many changes as he's promised. Why make those changes? Saving the players for who? So usually what teams do is to still show that they're the better side. You could say that could earn them a psychological advantage going into the coming season, doing the double over us, beating us home and away in in the 24-25 season. I think that's huge. I'm not going to listen to anybody that believes that is happy that he said he's going to rest a lot of players. I would want him to start his best team because we have young team that when they see that mentally, they're probably not going to do enough to win that game. They probably think, okay, it's over. We're beating them. That's a small opinion, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's mind game. No way that is going to rest some players because they are not in the Champions League, they are not in the FA Cup, they're only playing the Premier League. Maybe we want to give some fringe players minutes. We'll wait and see. But again, just one game. Hopefully, they're still drunk after the celebration so that we can win tomorrow on Sunday. But again, it won't be easy because it's Liverpool and we haven't played good overall this season against top six teams in the Premier Leagues. But again, it's all about us wanting it more. So hopefully the boys can turn up against the Liverpool on Sunday.
Yeah, I hope we can. I hope we can. It's not going to be easy. They've won the league, but still, it's not going to be easy. We'll see. I trust the manager. If we get, I don't. I'm not one of those that believe is the reason we struggled of late, and I know you're not one. I do know you're not one of those either. But we wait and see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not one of those, to be honest. Yes, some other games he made some transition, but again, it's all about the players want it more. For example, the Norwich City game. I mean, not Norwich City. Ipswich Town. I always confuse the two. That game we should have won it, but again, due to our mistakes, we didn't win it. And also, their goalkeeper Palmer was fantastic. He made some four crucial saves
Yeah,
against us. So
yeah. We had two
this
Palmers on
football,
the day, and he was the better of the two Palmers.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting season so far. So let's start. We have some news items lined up to discuss. Then we get into the match preview exercise proper. Also, part of the exercise is the lineup prediction exercise where we try to correctly predict Enzo Maresca's starting 11 on the day. Without wasting much of your time, the first item we have lined up here, I know you might have seen rumors suggesting that Chelsea will push for a swap deal where Chukwuemeka stays and we get Jamie Gittins in return. Platigo is reporting that a swap deal between Dortmund and Chelsea involving Jamie Gittins and Connie Chukwuemeka is not currently being considered. And I've told people that usually swap deals aren't that easy.
Mm.
simply because yeah, the one club values the player at some price, while the other club values the player at a certain a price. Usually they don't measure each other, so it makes it very difficult for the swap deal to be successfully facilitated because of differences in evaluation of the players involved in the proposed swap deal. But right now, we're not proposing any, and it's not going to happen. I'm quite sure they probably value Gittins more than we value Chukwuemeka, or definitely value Gittins more than they value Chukwuemeka, because Gittins in his case, he wants to leave. In Connie Chukwuemeka's case, also, you could argue he wants to leave also, but we also are looking at to sell him in this case. Well, in that case, they're not pushing to sell Gittins. He wants to leave. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to get your thoughts on that. But it looks like we're serious about getting the deal, signing Jamie Gittins come the next summer transfer window.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Jamie Gittings is one to watch. The next winger that will come to Chelsea. Also, in terms of Kanichuka Meka, you mentioned that he would like to get more game time at Chelsea at the moment. It seems like he's not getting that. But again, hopefully he comes for the preseason, which will be the club World Cup mostly for us, so they can showcase his talent. But again, we still need to shift some players, for example, likes of Nkunku, maybe João Felix, so that Kani Chukwuemeka for me, I think it can play as a number 10. As a midfielder, we have a lot of midfielders that will play there, so I don't see him playing as a midfielder. So it's going to be very interesting. But still, I don't think that will happen because both clubs would like to balance their books. So financially, it doesn't make sense to do a sub deal. So let's see what will happen, Coachella.
Yeah, a straight swap deal doesn't just make sense, and I think one of the main reasons being that if it doesn't involve cash payment, it doesn't make sense because both clubs would like to bring in money to balance their books. So I agree with you. And in the case of Connie Chukwuemeka, I don't know if you think differently. I think he did push to leave. Maresca did speak highly of him when he talked about him during one of his presses. But I think Connie wants to be starting week in, week out, which is not possible at Chelsea. I've heard people argue otherwise. I've heard the much respected Max Button Ballers, currently the Blue Bridge. He changed his name of the name of his channel. He did argue that Connie, I think, was it Connie? I could be wrong. I don't want to misquote him because I respect him quite a lot. He did argue that Connie probably the club wanted to sell him, but he didn't want to go to the clubs that we want him to join, that wanted to pay us more. But I view it differently. I believe the club wanted to keep him, but he wanted to be starting week in, week out. And you could argue, I don't blame the club for not trusting him. Since he joined us, he's gotten injured severally. And every time he gets injured, he stays out for a while. I remember, was it under Graham Potter, when Potter had plans for him? You could see Potter wanted him to start games. He recovers from one injury. Then when it's time for us to see him, we'll hear that, yeah, he suffered a setback and then he'll be out for weeks. So I don't blame the club for wanting to sell him, even though he's still young. But we're not there to, you can say, to keep players that aren't fit enough to play. If we can move them on and get some money for their sale, I'd do that. I don't know whether you feel differently. Do you think he pushed to leave, or do you think the club wants him out? I think if the club really wants him out, they'd sell him and not loan him out.
Yeah, I agree with you. But also, I remember one of Enzo Maresca's press conference when they asked him about Chukwuemeka. Immediately that Kani needs to go on loan because last season he didn't play a lot of games due to injuries. So he needs to go back to another team on loan so that he can build his fitness level, gain experience, so that he can come back to Chelsea. And Enzo Maresca never said something about selling Kani. He said Kani needs to go on loan so that he can develop as a player. Unfortunately, in the summer, we couldn't shift him off. So it was hard for Kani not to get more game time. But again, Now we had an opportunity to learn more Dortmund, still having injuries by the way at Dortmund. So I don't know what will happen, Coachella, because at Dortmund he's still having injuries, but when he plays very well, and I think he's one of the key players at the moment for Nico Kovac, if I'm not mistaken.
Kovac is the manager. Yeah. Here's the thing. All we can do is speculate. Speculate. We don't work for the club. You don't. I don't. A lot of people, the big name accounts on X, YouTube, they don't work for the club. So we can only speculate. We can only try to make sense of what we've heard and try to conclude what we believe is the situation. So let's move on to the next item. With I think as soon as we get done, that will be fine, so that Tobejo can go get a good night's sleep. It's very late for him. It's still 4:44 p.m. for me. So this particular report here, also about Jamie Gittins, it reads Chelsea are very keen to sign Gittins and have made their interest clear to the players' camp. However, there is no agreement, commitment, or negotiations between the clubs at this stage. I was again. I've read some reports that led to me believing that maybe we're close to actually getting the deal over the line. But one thing is certain. One thing is certain. What is that? Is the fact that yeah, it looks like we're serious. We're serious in our pursuit of Jamie Gittins. Whether that ends up happening, I don't know. I don't think we lack numbers in that department anymore. If Sanchez stays and we're still getting Cuenda and Estevao William, who can also play on the flanks, essentially, will be joining after the Club World Cup. I don't think this is an area of priority for us, in my opinion. But if you want to add something to that, you go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, you mentioned something. Personally, I've said that Sancho, for me, I'd rather keep Sancho at Chelsea than buying Gittings, because Sancho already have experience. I know at the moment it's on and off, but again, it's going to get better. It's not at his peak at current stage. So I'd rather keep Sancho at Chelsea than buying another winger. Also, Coachella, just to add to that,
Mm.
Enzo Maresca is just playing Noni Madueke as a left winger, that which usually you don't see. But again, maybe it's because of trying to keep Noni Madueke at Chelsea for the next season, which for me I think is a better solution. And then he played very well against Everton. Maybe we might buy another wing if, for example, if we don't buy Sancho, maybe we can buy Gittings. But for now, personally, I'd rather play Sancho and Noni or Pedro Neto that side, because Noni for me that side, it was fantastic against Everton. Let's see what happened against Liverpool. So what are your thoughts about Noni Madueke playing that side?
He was brilliant. He looked different. Tried shooting with his weaker foot. He looked more alive. He looked more alive on that side than his usual side on the flanks. So I would like to see him more there and more on that on the left hand side, and it looks like that's going to happen tomorrow on Sunday. Why do I think it's going to happen? Pedro Neto is more effective on the right, and Nani Madueke, we clearly we're just learning that he's more effective on the left. So I
Mm.
think we still would see him there, and I think the manager should continue doing that. But Maresca, he is predictably unpredictable. Chances I would see him do something different. He's a smart manager, but one thing, the risk of having a manager as smart as him or Pep Guardiola, sometimes they can overthink things. You understand? He's not perfect. I like him, but I'll be the first to let you know that he's not perfect. There are things that he's done that I wish he could have done differently. But that's by the way. I like Nani on the left. I do.
Thank you. And also, if you're watching, welcome to Blue Alliance Show. We're going to preview the Chelsea versus Liverpool match. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, make sure you subscribe to the Chelsea Perspective if you haven't, guys.
Yes, thank you. Let's move on to the next item here. We have this. This will never go away until you can say the future of you can say where Gyökeres ends up will never. It will be talked about until he leaves Sporting CP. So this particular report from Pletigo reads that Arsenal are pushing up for Victor Gyökeres, but Manchester United, Chelsea, and Real Madrid are all in the race. No commitment yet. That is tight. If Madrid are interested, you may well just say it's over. Madrid, they pay well. If it was Barcelona, I'd say maybe the salary will end up being the reason why they don't sign him. But if it's Real Madrid, they have the money. They're not cash strapped like Barcelona. But I'd say just forget it. I don't know what it takes for us to convince him to join us, because Real Madrid, certainly, forget the rumors circulating suggesting that they will push to sign Erling Haaland from Manchester City, except if Pep decides, yeah, I want to move him on and go back to my usual approach of playing with a more again a hybrid number 9 rather than a more traditional number 9. Because yeah, you could argue in the absence of Erling Haaland, City are actually doing better. That's my opinion. But beyond that, I think Madrid will get their man, because they don't have a chance in terms of signing Erling Haaland. And the next best striker available on the market right now is Victor Gyökeres. So I think Arsenal might as well look away. And Chelsea, I've never thought that actually we're serious about signing him. I think probably we'll end up with Delap, which will not be bad. Delap will not be a bad support for Jackson, and both can actually start together, in my opinion.
Yeah, personally, I wouldn't prefer Delap at the moment. But again, like I said, with Victor Gyökeres, it's going to be difficult to get him if we don't qualify for the Champions League. I know people will say, "Oh, we are Chelsea," but again, these players want to perform at the biggest stages, and also he's 26 years old, so it doesn't want to wait another season to be in the Champions League. So since Real Madrid are there, Manchester United, and also Manchester United, I think they have a big chance to win the Europa League. If they win it, they're going to be in the Champions League. So I think for us to attract these big name players, we need to secure the top four spots so they can go to the Champions League. If you can get Victor Gyökeres and Newcastle miss out for the Champions League, we can test the water by trying to sign Alexander Isak, also which won't be easy. So it's going to be a difficult job for Chelsea to convince these strikers. So I wouldn't prefer.
Go ahead. Sorry.
To be honest, I wouldn't prefer the left, but again, if you get him, I'm not gonna boo that player. I'm going to support the player because I support all the players that are representing Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard my argument as to why I don't think Alexander Isak is our man.
Yes.
If he doesn't differ that much from Nicholas Jackson, and I'm going to break it down here. They are both hybrid strikers. They're not your stereotypical number 9. And if we're going to sign Isak and then still sign that profile of our striker in question, which is a more stereotypical number 9 that we're looking for, then fine. But if we're signing Isak as the sole solution to our problem, I don't agree. If anything, he's just a better striker than Nicholas Jackson. I think Nicholas Jackson is more industrious on the pitch. He's proven that he can be more industrious on the pitch than Isak. He can also be more physical than Isak. The only thing is that Isak is just a better finisher of the two. But in all honesty, in my opinion, Nicholas Jackson brings a lot more to the table than Isak. I'm not saying he's the better player. We're just discussing how they differ. And if, in fact, we're signing Isak as our sole solution, then I don't like it. I think what we're looking for is a number 9 that is leaning to that is more of a traditional number 9 than a hybrid number 9, so we can have a good mix, because we don't have that right now at the club. Mark Guy is still very young, out injured. I think he'll still get his opportunity, or maybe we'll end up sending him out on loan because it won't be nice for a player as young as he is to just stay at the club and be rotten on the bench. That will not help his development. That's my opinion about Alexander Isak. I love him, but I don't want him. I don't want us to sign him if that we're looking at just to sign one striker, but if we can sign two, him and one traditional kind of number nine or number nine that can play, you can say operate as a traditional number nine, but still drop, they participate in the play. Just look at Harry Kane. He defines the sort of number nine that I'm talking about. I know there will never be another Harry Kane, but Kane is a special player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then I heard the rumors that Hurricane will have a release clause in the summer, so it's going to be interesting which team might go to Bayern Munich and test the waters.
Probably
The water, I
Saudis.
mean.
The only club
So
I think
yeah,
will be Saudis.
yeah. Also,
Because
we have Myra, the rapper. Big up, bro. Big up.
Big up, guys. Long time, guys.
big up Maya the rapper. Big up, bro.
Big up, big up. What's happening, guys? Been a minute.
Yeah, I've been doing good. I can't complain. Do you see the comment I left in one of your songs?
Yes, I did on YouTube.
Yeah, did you respond? I'm gonna
Yeah, I did.
unsubscribe. I will unsubscribe.
I did. Maybe you didn't see it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Maybe you didn't see it. Yeah. You see,
I
I'm not
haven't
a
seen it.
fraud. I'm not a fraud.
No, you're not. You're not. I trust you, bro. I trust you. Tabaho, you want to bring him up to a level where we are, the items we've discussed, so that we can move to the next. I don't think. Do we have another news item to discuss? One more news item. Just looking at Enzo Fernandez's output so far this season before we get to the match preview proper. Maya, if you're listening, I think let me just do that for my bro. We've talked about Politico reporting that a potential swap deal between the Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund, which will involve Connie Chukwuemeka staying there and Jamie Gittins joining us, that it's not possible. And then we talked about Jamie Gittins, how we've spoken to his camp, but we haven't started any sort of negotiations with Borussia Dortmund. And then we're currently talking about the clubs interested in signing Victor Gyökeres. The clubs include Manchester United, Real Madrid, and of course Chelsea Football Club and Arsenal. So your thoughts on those items we've talked about?
Yeah, interesting. Interesting targets we're going for in the market. I think this time around, man, guys, like the sporting directors need to get it right. In terms of even the profile itself. When we're talking about Gittins as well, like um I want to really understand how much numbers will he bring to the Premier League. I think he has like I think this season he has like 11 or 12 goals this season. I'm not sure.
Who?
But
Gittins?
which is all right. Yeah.
Oh,
For I
okay.
think it's
I
like
mean, as a winger, that's
is
not
it
bad.
it's not bad for like for him in Bundesliga. So, I think if we get a decent deal for this guy, I don't mind him but at all. But as well as like we need to also move smartly in the market. There's other probably good wingers better than him. But I don't mind. If there's a deal with him and Chukwuemeka, maybe we can get probably a good deal. I'm not closely looking at 60 to 70. That's too much for Gittins, guys.
No, that's a lot of money. Even
I
it's
probably
and it's not a position of priority for us. We have
Mm.
numbers in that department.
yeah. I rather spend it on good, Chris. I won't lie to you.
Yeah. I think I agree. I mean, it's common sense. Why spend 60 million on Gittins if why we can add a little bit of money to it and sign Gyökeres if we can, if it doesn't opt to join Real Madrid, because if they're there, I think he'll end up there. So I think it makes sense. I'd rather add money to it and sign Gyökeres. I don't think we'll pay anything north of 50 million for Gittins. I'd be surprised if we do. That's not an once again. That's not an area of priority for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm.
And also big up to Ties. Says my laptop is acting up. Big up, bro. Don't worry about that. I appreciate you being on the chat. Hopefully next time your laptop will be fine.
Yep, Ty, stop buying laptops from dollar store.
Also, guys, what are your thoughts about? I think the latest comment was about Enzo Maresca talking about buying experienced players. Do you think we might do that in the summer?
It's nothing new. Do you know why I said it's nothing new?
Mm,
I think every that's some. Here's the thing. I'm not accusing you of being having a short memory. I think everybody that's a web addict that's always on Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok will all have developed short memories even without knowing it. Here's the thing. Last week, or even I think 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago at most, there was a particular report that said clearly we're looking to sign more experienced players.
mm.
And the signs were there already. We signed at what age did we sign Tosin? The signs were there.
26.
Yeah, exactly. And we did push to sign Osimhen. There are other targets we push to sign that are more experienced. Let's not see things from age. Let's just stick with experience because people do use those two words interchangeably.
Yeah.
We did see that report suggesting we're looking to sign more experienced players to balance out the team. And I think we did discuss that either on Chelsea Perspective or on one of the Alliance shows where we talked about they've learned that experience is important. Or maybe we have enough young players now, they want to start winning immediately. They've understood. So there's nothing new there. Mares, that's just the reporters, or you can say the big accounts, they're just presenting the same news from a different perspective. They're making it sound as if it is something that the club never wanted to do, but are willing to do it from today or from yesterday, whenever they released that. That was when I saw it, I just laughed because I realized it was just them finding a different angle to present it, to get people to click through on it or to talk about it, and it brings the clicks. And there's nothing new there. There's nothing new. We've heard that before. That's just my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you. Myra, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, maybe they're all spent on experienced players. But like coach said, they actually showed us like Felix is also experienced, guys. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Yeah.
Pedro Neto's experienced. He won a trophy in Portugal. So like these players are experienced. So they have to buy experienced players. And now, like what coach said, now they've seen that we do need experienced players. But besides that, we have to make Champions League, you know, because if we don't do that, then it's going to be difficult to convince those experienced teams to come play for Chelsea. In my opinion, like that's how I see it as well.
I mean, it's a fact. It's a fact. I know if you say this, if you have a diehard Chelsea fan, an OG like Bobby on the panel, he will convince you that Chelsea are Chelsea that were big names. Yes, then without Champions League football, it would take a lot to convince a player like Gyökeres, even Osimhen, to join us. And here's something that people aren't paying attention to. You see that report, that not necessarily a report that Vince shared quoting Bucci. Bucci is very close to Osimhen. So if Bucci pushes such narrative, it means Osimhen is just clearly saying, yeah, forget that nonsense. I'll just join the club that pays me the money. Because when you have a close relationship with somebody, you could call a journalist, but I think Bucci is he a photojournalist or something? I can't quite remember. But he has access, first-hand access to Osimhen. So if he's doing such, whatever he said about Osimhen, Osimhen is well aware of that. Is knowledge that is knows about it and probably approves of it and probably told him to go ahead with it. So to me, I get it. Before he signs for us, we'd have to have Champions League football, and then agree to pay him how much he's demanding in terms of his wages. Same thing, Gyökeres. Even you could say the same thing about Benjamin Sesko. Even Delap, we've heard that his plan is to wait to the end of the season and see who gets to play in the Champions League before deciding what club to join. But in his case, I don't think he has the right to make such demands. After all, he's a championship player.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's a championship player. If he goes to Chelsea with or without the Champions League spot, is an upgrade for him. So
Go ahead, just give me 1 second.
I
Let me
don't.
get my green and energy. I'm coming.
Okay, no problem. So, Myra, what are your thoughts about Victor Gokares? Do you think we stand a chance to get him because there's going to be a lot of competition? As the report saying, Manchester United, Arsenal, even Real Madrid are on the race. Do you think we stand a chance to get this guy? Because it's on hot form, man. I want him at Chelsea, but even you said is the Portuguese league on X that the Premier League is different. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think we stand a chance?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, guys, you can score 40 goals, La Liga. Come do it on our side, please. Come do it on the side. Come do it in the English side, and show us that you can do it. That's how I measure football as well with him. But Mina, I don't, I'm not going to say I don't want him, because we do need a striker.
I
We
thought
we
I
actually
thought
need a striker.
I thought Maya knows just how to rap. I don't know I didn't know he understands football this much. Yeah.
Hey, shit. But
Here's the thing.
I
You make sense. You make sense. The Premier League is a different test. There's no guarantee. Timo Werner was killing it, but in Timo Werner's case, a lot of us knew it was a gamble because he thrives only when there's space for him to exploit. We knew that. Okay, even within the Premier League, switching clubs alone, every club carries some level of pressure. Look at what's his name? The Spanish international that joined us from Liverpool. How he struggled at Chelsea. I get it. Max, the legendary Max, would tell you because he was on injections. He wasn't fully fit. Wasn't as good as he was when they signed him. He was struggling, and they were loading him with injections just to keep him playing. I think I agree. The Premier League is a different test, and every transfer. But here's the thing: why the risk is worth taking is that every transfer carries some measure of risk. And until that person arrives and gives us a shot, you never know who will succeed. Even though Simon, there's no guarantee he succeeds. The fact, irrespective of the fact
yeah, true.
he's performed consistently across multiple leagues. The Belgian league, French league. Only in Germany was where he struggled. You can argue because he was still very young at the time. In Italy, and now he's killing it in Turkey. Chances are he comes to the Premier League, and that's it. How about Radamel Falcao? When he came to the Premier League, what happened? So sorry for cutting you off, Maya. Go ahead.
No. I think you actually made good valid points, coach. Because with certain players, we see it, if they come to the Premier League, then we know what type of a player they are and their profile. But sometimes you can say that sometimes they are system players. This player is made to play for the type of manager he wants to play like. So with Gilchrist, I don't mind. If it's a risk, it's a risk, because we do need a striker. But as well, Arsenal also wants him, and you mentioned Madrid. So it's a give and take now in the market, No, first come, first serve. That's the market. So if Chelsea is really serious, go bank in this guy. No, don't try to convince Osimhen and this guy in between, because you have to choose one. So you have to go for the person that you want. So yeah, I don't mind Gilchrist, man. I don't mind.
I don't
All
mind
I'm
him. I
saying
mean, you were seen
as well.
enough to know it's a risk worth taking.
Yeah,
But do
true,
I? Yeah,
true,
yeah.
true. I'm
And
sure he
also,
has scored 4 or 5 hat tricks so far this season. So
Mm.
that's pretty decent. It's good. It's
And
good.
it
listen,
gives you hope, given the fact that he's performed consistently, even from the championship to the top level. leagues. He's performed consistently every
Mm.
season. He scores, you can say, acceptable number of goals. Let's just use that term. But as for the CP, for how many seasons right now, he's been just exceptional.
Yeah, 2 seasons now. I'm scoring goals for fun. This season is even worse because last season I think he scored 28 league goals. This season already have 34 league goals, and then 3 games left to the league to be finished. So this guy's in hot form. But again, like Mara says, the Premier League is a different animal. We saw it with my boy Lukaku, never worked out at Chelsea, but he did it at Everton. Manchester United didn't do that well. Chelsea, the same thing, and in Serie A, is killing it. So that's the difference with the Premier League, that you always need to be on the high level.
Yeah, I agree. Never easy. I don't think we have any other news item. Is that the last one? One more. One more. Or were you saying something to Beho?
Yeah, after that, I think we had the latest news about Chelsea linked to Ajax, left back, center back. I think it's
Hito?
Gerald Hartwell.
Is it Hato
Yes.
or Hito?
I, 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 I'm not sure about the pronunciation. I think it's Hatu or Hitu, something like that.
Oh, I think it's Hato. Yeah, Hato. Pronounced Hato. I think so.
Oh, not Etu, right?
No, not Hato, but Hato. The A is that's pronounced as is. I think I saw somebody on X use creatively use it to say rivals hate to see it. That was when I realized, okay, and that guy that did that, he's Dutch, so he probably understands how the name is pronounced. He follows Dutch league. But go ahead.
No problem. We can talk about Enzo Fernandez stats and then talk about this Ajax
Okay.
kid.
Yeah, and the hater thing, I think it highlights an area of importance that we haven't talked about. We only have one left back at the club. You can say one
Mm.
trusted left back. I know there are a few in the academy, but we have only one trusted left back at the club, and I'm not too sure about the future of Renato Viega. You cannot count him as a left back if his preference is to play as a center back, and that was one of the main reasons. The reasons why actually one of the main reason why he asked to leave on loan to join Juventus. So Enzo Fernandez, from the start of the season, he started the season in very fine form under Enzo Maresca. Was one of our best players. Started showing more energy, popping up in places to help us win the ball back. Always waiting when our attacking players press. He's always available to pounce on the mistake from the opposition. And then at one point, people started blaming him for our struggles. And I think you could argue at the time it was mainly driven by the departure of Conor Gallagher. So the locals were the ones that pushed the hatred on him, or the narrative on him not being good enough for Chelsea at the time was, again, it was driven by the departure of Gallagher. And we were telling people, you don't understand this guy. You don't understand him. And the truth remains, I'm going to say this, I get it. He's developed into or developed an approach where he's always arriving in the box, creating more chances, probably because we play with 2 10s. In our application, we play with 2 10s, and him and Cole Palmer are usually the 2 10s. I get it, but the truth remains, this guy, the deeper he plays, the more effective it be. Why? Because the deeper he is, the more he sees the pitch, and he has excellent vision in terms of his passing range. Make a move, he will see you. But he's added a lot more to his game. That aspect where he arrives at the box late, or when the number 9 guy is in the flanks, you see him on the flanks, you see him centrally waiting for the ball, and he's gotten a few goals there. But that's, by the way, my point is people don't just understand him. And I see people celebrating when you can say rumors were pushed that Madrid are willing to send us Aurelian Tchouameni to get Enzo Fernandez, and people were celebrating that. And I told them, this is stupid. This guy brings the balance we need, and Madrid are lacking that sort of balance we have, and we're willing to give Madrid the balance we have to get Aurelian Tchouameni, who's not anywhere close to this guy in terms of his vision. And we have numbers in terms of players capable of fulfilling the DM role, what sort of sense does it make? They weren't paying attention. But I think a lot of them, he's proven them wrong on the pitch. Even when the racist accusations thing, which you could argue happened for because of his ignorance to the fact that it was going to be a problem and the way it happened and all that. But this guy is one of the best players in our squad. And a lot of people just fail to accept that, or you could argue just blatantly being disingenuous, because this guy, he's a winner, first of all. He's won what you call the cup, South American Cup, not even the World Cup. He's won the World Cup. He's won the cup, South American version of it. I think it was last year, right? At
Yes.
what age? We don't have too many players like that in our squad. He can lead. He always gives 150%. But enough of my ranting here. Let's look at what the numbers tell us. This reads that last time Enzo Fernandez created less than half as many chances as Palmer in the Premier League with 32 last term. Okay, this term his total is 73. With 4 games still to play, puts him only just behind his Chelsea teammate and 4th in the division. And yet Enzo Maresca hasn't improved any of our players. That's okay. I'll let the numbers do the talking. Most chances created in the Premier League, 24-25. Bruno Fernandes, 84. Mohamed Salah, 81. Cole Palmer, 80. Enzo Fernandez, 73. And still, some people still do not respect him. And I've heard people argue that the Premier League isn't for him. I think it was against my friend, what's his name? Calito. And rest his soul also, a friend of ours, Rogers, saying he's not good enough for the Premier League. It's too soft to be friend. And I told him, this guy isn't soft. He's your typical South American player. Rather than slug it out with you, he'd rather draw a foul. But I think he's now learned that he needs to go punch for punch. If that's what you want. If you want to show him your physical, he will show you cannot take the ball off of him. Then you'd have to commit a real foul to get the ball off of him. And I'm happy that he's proven a lot of people wrong. But unfortunately, if Madrid are serious about him, I think he will push to leave because probably he's been disrespected quite a lot. That is my opinion.
Yeah, also again, Coach Chila, since we give these players a life sentence contract, how much do you think Real Madrid are going to offer us? Because there's no way Chelsea will listen to offers under 150 million. No way, because already have, I think, 8 or 9 years on his contract already. So Real Madrid, just focus on your
probably
team.
About 6 left now.
No. I remember
we triggered the extension a few months into his first year, right? Let's say it is 9.
Yes.
Join us.
Yes, 100%. So, so overall, Real Madrid will have to pay big bucks to get him, but at the same time, they still have the financial issues due to La Liga caps and everything. So it won't be easy for them to buy Enzo Fernandez. But in terms of him playing at Chelsea, he's been fantastic this season. He's a leader. You can see Enzo Maresca is pushing this guy to be one of the better players. He's also coaching him during the game, do this and that. He's learning. So
probably he's
I don't understand.
Captain, in my opinion.
I know most of
you know the politics of football. He's not going to say it out loud. I think he's his preferred captain. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, people are saying that Enzo Maresca doesn't rate Reece James. How can you trust the player that is overall is on and off the pitch? Yes, you trust him, but again, we need leaders that will be available. Even likes of the legend said the same thing, that a captain should be always available on the pitch. We rate Reece James, but again, we need him to be available so that we can, Reece James is back, he can take that role. Now Enzo Fernandez is showing that I'm here to improve at Chelsea, and he's doing that. So overall, I think our fans sometimes are unfair to our players because of certain players, English players. It's unfair. Let the kid develop at Chelsea. Like you always said, he is not at his peak at the moment. Maybe give him 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Go ahead, coach.
No, something I wanted to say with regards to the Real Madrid being interested in signing him at the moment, I think it's absolute hot dunk. But something I want to touch on quickly is you saying that we have him on a lifetime contract or life sentence contract. See, I can South Africa, nice to see you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. What I want to say is this: I don't think they signed it blindly. I think they have exit clause. All of them, they do have exit clauses. These guys, they don't just sign it when you bring it to the table. They have lawyers go through it, and probably they will check. Okay, what if I want to leave? What's going to happen? There are exit clauses. I haven't seen the contract, but I can assure you there are exit clauses. Especially a player that have left Argentina, gone to Benfica before coming to Chelsea. So if they made a mistake when he moved from Argentina I think we signed him from Benfica, right?
Yes.
To Benfica, probably they will take corrective measures and not risk anything. So I think there are exit clauses in each of the contract. You could argue even if if there isn't any, the moment he says he wants to leave, that changes everything. If you get my point. But go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also big up to Siaka South Africa. It's been a pleasure, bro, having you here. So, Myra, what are your thoughts about Enzo Fernandez? And also, do you think our fans are unfair by comparing him with some ex Chelsea players?
Looks like Maya
Yeah,
has gone to bed.
sorry. Oh, okay. So, Enzo, this season he improved so much.
Who improved him? Thomas Tuchel?
Yeah, hello, can you guys hear me now? Sorry,
Yeah, we can
my
hear you.
network is
I
probably
thought you'd gone
bad
to
now.
bed.
We can hear you.
No, sorry. It's my network. Sorry, my network. I can't hear you. Oh, nah. I couldn't hear you guys. Now I can hear you guys. I was like,
Oh,
what's
okay.
going on? Okay, so basically, Maresca improved Enzo Fernandez in terms of like, especially in the middle. Like now you can see like he can do actually extra bits in the middle, like box crashing and also like when he's going up front. So there's a lot from now that I get from Enzo Fernandez that I remember we used to complain about this guy not creating chances. Now everybody's complaining about getting an ex guy to do better result than this guy. I'd rather choose Enzo Fernandez than Gallagher and all those guys right now because this guy, he's giving us chances each game. And like I'm sure he won us points. He won us 3 points against Tottenham. Even won us points against Leicester this season. So I don't know why people, it for some people really takes a while until the end of the season to really realize like, okay, Enzo Fernandez actually right now is one of the guys that we need in the middle. So yeah, I give him props. And I want all the best. I actually prefer the three of them in the middle because Lavia complements them very well. Very well. Like I
Mhm.
see a lot better from Enzo when Lavia is around. So it's really good to see what Enzo can do in the front as well. That's what I like about Enzo. Not only when he's defending, but when he's in the offense, Enzo is really good. He's really good. So I'm happy for him that he actually improved this season. He really improved. Like this season has to be one of maybe the best center backs, top five central midfielders, top 5, 6 central midfielders this season, in
Yeah.
my opinion, that
Yeah,
I've
he's there.
that I've watched so far. So yeah, he
Listen,
really he really stepped up this season.
They say numbers don't lie. He's created the fourth most chances in the Premier League, only behind Cole Palmer. Yeah. Um, I'm happy, and I'm glad the club they released a counter statement saying that they're not looking to sell him, even if Madrid are serious. We're not looking to sell him. So, but that's by the way. I don't know, Maya. We're used to speaking before we look at the insights and then get onto the game. I want us to get it done as soon as possible.
Yeah, it seems like man, I have a similar issue with me,
Okay.
and we have.
My bad.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see my screen. I'm gonna read the insights from Google. I like it. I think it's usually more detailed than that of FOTMob. The first item in there reads Chelsea are winless in their last 10 meetings with Liverpool in all competitions, 7 draw, 3 losses. I know a lot of draws. I've never forgotten that. We only lost to them. Under Thomas Tuchel, it was all draws, right? We didn't, and then the cup games that those still count like draws, but they did beat us on penalties on, right, didn't they? So
Yes.
yeah, so this says 7 draws, 3 losses, and the 2 losses you could not under Thomas Tuchel, the 3 losses maybe, but I think that changes in my opinion. Only once before going longer without a win over the Reds, 11 from 1985 to 1990. That was the longest we've gone without beating them. 11 games in total. Okay. The second item here reads, after their 2-1 win in October, Liverpool are looking to complete their first league double over Chelsea since their title winning 2019-2020. But before they played the second time that year, they hadn't won the title, right? They had. So this time is different. They won the title. You can argue
The one,
the
the one is
2019 2021, they won it before playing us.
yes, they did, and then they lifted the trophy right after. Yeah, 'cause we remember we were the ones that gave them that by beating City that year. We gave them the title.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you for that Ty. 2019-2020 campaign. Arne Slot could become only the first Reds boss to win both of his first 2 league games against Chelsea, in charge of the club after Bill Shankly and Roy Evans. I think this is a motivation for him, and I don't know why even a big account like me saying thank you, because he something Nee from Blue Lions TV, something on X where some outlet talked about Arne Slot saying he's going to make a lot of changes. Did he say a lot or some changes? And Nini was happy, and I was like, "What is this?" He has the motivation to be the first manager that does the double over us. Since the two but the two, I don't know, historical names, I don't know them, mentioned there. I don't think Liverpool will come to the bridge with again just play all their kids. No, as I've said before, they would want to establish a dominance under Arne Slot. Beating us, doing the double over us, for me, earns them, you could argue, a psychological advantage or edge going into next season. It's that simple. They'll be serious. And I don't want a situation, even if he makes 5 changes and introduces some players from their academy. I think that would be, I'll be concerned, because we have young players that if they see that, they probably go, yeah, we're winning this one, and end up not being able to win it. Usually for kids, you say relenting is usually automatic. It's a you could say a subconscious thing, and I don't want that to happen. But that's just my opinion. The third one, Chelsea have picked up 17 points in their last 8 Premier League matches, winning 5, drawing 2, and losing 1. So our form has actually improved from the last 8 games, in my opinion. Haven't collected just 9 points from their previous 10 beforehand, win 2, drew 2, and 5 losses when we were struggling. But even after our form improved, people were still chatting nonsense on X. So item number 4, Chelsea champions Liverpool have scored in each of their last 30 Premier League matches since a 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest in September. The only side to have a longer scoring run within a single campaign was Arsenal in the 2001 and 2002 campaign, who scored in all 38 games. So this suggests definitely they're going to score. The question now is, will we outscore them? I honestly do not know. This particular insight reads, Chelsea have not used a single player over the age of 27 in a Premier League match this season. With this run of 34 games, the longest by a side in Premier League history. The previous longest had been a run of only 6 by Liverpool in April and May of 2000. So we have the youngest squad, I think. Do we really? Haven't paid attention to that for a while. So Liverpool, they have motivation to win, to establish dominance under Arne Slot, and he has a record he would want to establish also. But for us, we want to finish in the top 5 to get to participate in the next edition of the Champions League. I don't know, Tabeo, you want to talk about these insights, or should I look at the insights also on Fort Mock, where we'd see how many goals they've scored and how many we've scored in our last 5 games?
Yeah, we can use Fort Mock, and also big up to Naomi Fowele. It's been a pleasure, bro.
What did you call his name?
I butchered the name.
Mohammed? They say Mohammed Foley.
He called him
Not Mohammed.
I think he's probably talking about the Maya Fowole.
Nama, yes, I said Naomi. Oh man.
Nehemiah. I don't know what's the correct pronunciation, but yours was bad, really. Right. No.
At least I'm going to heaven, coach.
No. I mean, this will not lead you to heaven or hell, but dang it, you butchered it. You turned them into a girl straight up.
Yeah, we can go look to the inside.
Okay. You want me to read it?
Yes.
Okay. Chelsea have scored 10 goals in their last 5 matches. Liverpool has scored 11. So if we're sticking with that particular metric alone, you say, yeah, we'll score, they score, but they're most likely to beat us by 1 goal. Even if we score 2, they score 3, they will outscore us if we're going by that alone. Nottingham Forest has the most shots on target per match for Chelsea, 1.6, and have kept the most clean sheets in the competition, 14 in total. You could argue that's one of the main reasons why they're winning the league. The clean sheets. Cole Palmer is ranked number 3 in big chances created in the competition, 20 in total. Mohamed Salah is the competition's top scorer, 28 in total. So if going by that factor, the fact that Salah is the top scorer in the competition, and the fact that they have 11 goals in their last 5 games and we have just 10, I mean, you can conclude sensibly that they beat us by a goal. But you cannot script football. There are other factors we have to look at here. What else do we have to look at here? In their last 5 games, how many goals have they considered? They considered 2 here. They only kept clean sheet in 2. They kept clean sheet in 2. Okay, they considered 2 here. Okay, considered 1 here. That's 3. That's 4. They considered 4 goals in their last 5 matches. In our last 5 matches, we considered 1. We considered 1 here, 1 here. That's 2, 4, 6. We considered 6. Why they considered 4. So everything we've looked at, if we're sticking by that alone, by those things alone, sensible conclusion would be that they're the most likely Liverpool will beat us on that day. But definitely, I'm gonna go back to letting you know you just cannot script football. numbers will give you a good idea, given the output of the teams competing, what will be the most likely outcome. But I'd say still, it could end in a draw, because in terms of goals conceded, they considered 4, we consider 6, right? So they consider 2 more, we consider 2 more than them. So, and plus they scored more goals than us, 1 more than us. So they can beat us, or it's still, you can say, within the margin of error to end in a draw. It could still end in a draw. For injuries, we have Christopher Nkunku out, Slonina, we don't count him. Mark Gui, doubtful, he might still be there. Omari Kellerman, I don't count him. Robert Sanchez, I think probably he plays. Wesley Fofana, we know his case. For them, they have Joe Gomez. They have Tyler Moulton, Connor Bradley, the full squad, and I think probably he will start their strongest 11, in my opinion. And numbers tell us that they are, again, the sensible conclusion will be that they're most likely to emerge the winner on the day. But we're playing at home. There are other factors when you look at like historical factors. They haven't done a double over us in a while. I think this game is still within the margin of error to end in a draw. That's my opinion. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, personally, like I said, it won't be an easy game because we desperately need 3 points. At the same time, Liverpool can come and spoil a party for us. Like I said, I wish they come when they are drunk so that we can beat them up and then get the 3 points. So it's up to the players, the game plan from Enzo Maresca, that we need these 3 points more because it's all about winning. It's all about winning, guys. So hopefully, we do better against Liverpool because last time I think we had an opportunity to beat them, but again, we're not just clinical. And I think they had few chances and they scored 2 of them. So personally, like I said, every time we need to be clinical in order to win games and to score them, just like you said, Coachella.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. Of our remaining games, I think this is the one game we could lose. They have the experience. We could still beat them. I mean, let me put it this way: we can beat them. We will beat them. That's a question for the manager and the players to answer. And the truth, I'm going to say this one more thing: irrespective of what happens on Sunday, we are finishing in the top 5. Forest will drop. I've said that 1,000 times. Even though initially when I started saying it, it was driven by just belief, not by what I was seeing. But from what I'm seeing, they don't look like they're gonna stay there. I don't think they have it. And that you could say that mentality, or that you could say the lack of belief that you can say the belief that it's not their thing to finish that area was setting, or you can say usually they will settle for where they are. You know, when you're not up to something, in some cases it's a bad thing though to happen. You start believing I've done well enough, people will appreciate how well I've done, I've tried my best. I think that mindset, it looks like it's setting in now. Not just that, I think they lack the depth to actually finish there. And remember, we'll still play them, right? And I think we'll beat them.
Last game.
Yeah, I think we're gonna beat them.
Ty, what are your thoughts?
On what exactly?
The game.
Oh, well, I heard that Arne Slot said he's going to be rotating. So there'll be some players that don't usually start playing, I suppose. Um, I'm wondering because that coach mentioned something about what happened in 2020. So I'm wondering if what happened with City, because City was the first team after well, okay, so it's kind of different this time because they actually lifted the trophy, and then they got the guard of honor from City, and then City won 4-0. and that was after they were celebrating and all that. I'm not still gonna win 4-0. That'd be lovely, but I don't think that will happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The insights give you that implication, and given the fact of they haven't beaten us home and away in a long time, or since Lampard days. That's good. I think the last time we actually won against them in the league was probably with Tuchel. So so
Yeah, I
obviously,
think it was with Tuchel with the
I
Mason
may be
Mount
wrong.
goal. No, I think
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
the
Man
Mason
goal.
Mount goal. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Kante pass and then Mason Mount with the curl and then and we won 1-0. Yeah. So yeah, that's the case.
And also, Siaka
And I
says
think
one thing I hope. Okay, go ahead, bro.
I think what I will say is that I think this match will be a draw more than anything. We could win, but the margin is so small. I think it's either
yeah,
going to be
it could
like a
go either
1-1
way.
or probably a 2-1. Yeah, it could be
Yeah.
a 1-1 or a 2-1 like it was. And I think early in the season we could have won as well.
Mm.
But then they obviously scored and then they won 2-1. So it's going to be close margin.
Yeah, I agree. But football, you can, yeah, I mean, you just can't script it. You might well turn it on its head tomorrow, then we see a goals galore. But yeah, I'm with Ty there. It's really, really, the numbers say it's going to be tight. The margin is tight. It could go either way. Um, yeah, I don't know. Not what else you want us to look about that at there, or do you want us to get to the lineup prediction exercise?
Yeah, I would like us to go to the lineups exercise. And
Okay.
also, before we do that, Siaka says one thing I hope for is that Chelsea score lead 3-1 or 2 versus Liverpool. We just all hope that we win this game, Siaka. So hopefully,
No. What if City finish second? That's a big but.
Nothing matters. They will still not win the league and they will still be in the Champions League.
They're facing off against Bournemouth.
This instant that top five, except for the first position, could still anything can still happen there because the disparity in points between the second place to this actually how what let me look at it. The table here. Disparity in points is still not one that you could say it's over. Okay, this is second place is Arsenal. They're on 67. So if Arsenal lose their next game and Man City win their next game, okay, although Arsenal have a game in hand, right? They haven't played. So it's still really close, really. It's still tight up to ninth place, actually. Those in ninth place, okay, could go 54, 57, about 3 games left. No, they're not going to come close. So from seventh place up, so the disparity in points isn't too much. Yep. We're on par in terms of points with Nottingham Forest, and they still have to play. And it's something, if we lose and these guys, they win one more, they go 60 points, but the goal difference will still carry us to a certain extent. So it's still very tight up there. Arsenal could still drop to third, actually. I hope my math is matting there. But that's, by the way, how do you want us to do the lineup prediction exercise, one by one or together?
yeah, personally, I would like to try one by one so that we can see Thai putting N'Golo Kante as our goalkeeper.
You say one by one?
Yes.
All right. Who goes first?
Okay, let me just give my lineup and then we'll choose who's next. So in goal, I think Raul Sanchez will be available. I'm not sure, but again, hopefully be available. Raul Sanchez.
Was he on the bench midweek?
No. They said he had a knock in training.
I do think he will be available. You know how much Maresca likes him. But go ahead. That reminds me of what Thomas Tuchel said about Kovacic. He likes Kovacic so much that if he wakes him up in the middle of night, he's ready to go.
Yeah. So
All
Robert
right.
Sanchez in goal.
Okay. Sanchez, right?
Yes.
All right. Let's hear
And
you.
then this left back Marco Corella.
Like we have many options, right?
Yeah, I think it's our save at the moment, so we should depend on him.
All right.
And two centre backs pairing is going to be Levi Colwell and Trevor Chalaba.
Definitely. I'm going to say this again. Chalobah may well do a cookery at the end of the season. He's improved so much. He's looked more confident on the ball. He's defended better, reads the game very, very well. He may well stay. And did you see what he's saying about the manager? And it looks like the manager actually trusts him more than he trusts Tosin. But yeah, go ahead.
So you put Trevor Chalaba right there. Trevor Chalaba.
Oh, Chalobah there. Sorry.
Yes.
All right.
About the right back. Oh man, that's where I'm confused. I don't know what they're going to do. But
I'm not talking to you. I'll just wait.
yeah, personally, I'll put Dennis James there.
But we're not doing personally. We're doing what we believe the manager would do.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we're not doing personally.
Dennis James.
Okay. All right. I'm waiting.
Moses Caicedo
Okay.
and Enzo Fernandez.
Okay. All right. And Zou. All right. Let's hear you.
And then Danbaterin, Cole Palmer.
Call Ice Palmer. Let's hear you.
And then Pedro Neto on the right, Noni Madueke on the left.
Pedro Neto. Noni Wankanobi Madueke. All right. What else?
And Mr. Jackson up front.
Nicholas Jackson. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. All right. You filled it
So
already.
this
Move on.
yes.
I'm gonna tell you who comes in. I don't know who makes away. Romero Lavia is starting that game. That's the way I think you filled it. I don't think James starts that game. He will play a part, but I don't think he starts. That's my opinion anyway. Ty, let's hear your lineup. The application is still loading. Okay, there you go. Ty, your lineup on this. Is it there? Is it gone? I want him to go last. I want to go last, so to speak. But if we wait for Ty a few seconds, I'll just go first. I'll just go second. No worries. Okay, let me go. Ty doesn't look like he's going to speak. I think Sanchez starts. I think the manager just wanted to give him a break. And the back line, Cucurella here, we agree. And my lineup, once I'm done, I'll shift it to the application. Cowell here. Okay. And Chalobah here. Very correct. Yeah, Chalobah there. Very correct. And here, I will go Caicedo here. And here, I'll go Lavia here. Here, I will go Enzo. And then here I'll go Palmer. Here I will go Madueke. But you cannot predict Enzo Maresca. Chances I would see Madueke on the right hand side. So NATO. And Jackson. So now I'm going to move things around based on the application. Okay. So I think it's going to be a back three, definitely. Let's see. We're going to see something like this. Sometimes we actually see two at the back, actually. Then this guy moves here to one of the 10s. So this guy can come here. We still have something like 2 6s. But usually I think we have a lot of people attacking. I think usually this guy will go further forward. We have a single 6 protecting the back line. But we'll see something similar to this, 2 10s like this. That's the application of what we've been seeing. Yep, this guy here. This guy, you can argue somewhere here, and this guy down further. I need to work on this thing. I wanted to add player ratings, but I haven't designed how I want it to be. So this structure here, that's 3-2-4-1. I think we see that quite a lot. Where let me get the yellow. I like to use the yellow ink, but let me use white to then see the contrast may be better. Where's white? There you go, white. So this guy being here is the reason we see him inside the box a lot. Yeah. Erase. That's why we see him inside the box a lot. We do see this guy inside the box a lot too. This guy is already there, but he can drift to the flanks and all that. So for me, I think this is a lineup we'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow. I could be wrong, but irrespective of what happens, this guy will be on the pitch. Lavia will be on the pitch, irrespective of who the manager decides to drop on the structure. Lavia will be on the pitch. That begs the question. I'm not too sure. Yeah, but if we see that starting structure that I showed, it simply means that Caicedo will be the one inverting. And if anything happens that Chalobah found him, if anything happens that this guy is somewhere out of position, and this guy is here, and this guy is central defending. If anything happens, if need be, you'd see this guy here to cover. And he's proven that he operates that way. Whenever he starts as right back and inverts, he usually pays attention to this space here and doesn't allow anything crazy to happen. But Spurs, Tottenham, they exploited that effectively. And we considered 2 early goals in that game. Correct me if I'm wrong. But my opinion, I think we'd see something like this. And if Caicedo starts in the right back position where he inverts, then we're not going to see Cucurella do a lot offensively. So that's my lineup, and I've reshaped it to the structure to how I think the application will be. That's it for me to will.
Yeah, I understand your lineup, but again, that's why I put the regimes there so that we can have more balance. But again, man, I don't know, because Rhys James, I think he played 45 minutes on Tuesday, right? On Thursday. So might be possibilities that he might start against Liverpool. So it's a tricky one. But I wouldn't mind Moses Caicedo playing as a right back, shifting the midfielder. That will be very good, because also that him and Lavia give us more balance. So it's going to be tough.
It will be. If it was up to me, my preferred lineup, I'd have Tosin here centrally. Levi Colwell left center back, then this guy right center back. If the application is going to be a back three like this, I don't trust Colwell centrally. And that's not the first time I'm saying it. He's improved. Even under Maresca, he's improved, but he still doesn't read the game well enough for me to lead to be in the central area here. I'd rather Chalobah in the central area, actually. So maybe we'll see Rhys James, because Rhys James, he can play at right center back, even though I don't trust his aerial ability. But I think would be better of having Tosin Tosin B central, Trevor Chalobah right centre back, and Levi Cole left centre back. That would be a better back three. This guy hasn't played consistently in the left centre back position, so playing him there is just because we know he can fulfill that role.
Yeah, 100%. So Ty, are you there? So that you can get your lineup also.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Okay,
let me
it's
let me
there.
let me bring let me bring it out before we build Ty's lineup. Give me 1 second. All right, Ty, let's go.
First of all, is Sanchez okay? I think Sanchez should be fine.
I think so too.
So Sanchez will obviously be the goalkeeper. Jesus Christ, the defense is gonna be the complication now.
That's where we're not too sure what's going to
Uh,
happen. Oh, oh.
oh, Sancho in goal. Wow.
I did not even
Wow.
know when I typed that.
Uh, um. Oh. Kukulea, left back.
I
I
mean,
don't
that's
think
the
there's
most
anybody
difficult
else.
one, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Uh. Ooh. I think Levi Cole will start. He didn't play against Jugarden, or did he?
Chigarden, Colwell.
So.
Right.
Mm. Crap. Damn. I would have said Chalaba because I can't think of anybody. I don't know.
I mean,
Ooh.
the fact that he didn't start against Chigarden is a giveaway. And
Probably, yeah. Neither Levi Cole and him started, so probably.
all right.
Um, hmm. James came off the he came off the pitch. He started and he came off. Did he come off at halftime? Who came off? Some persons came off at halftime. Was James one of them?
So James is what?
Yes.
So you think it's gonna be James here?
Um. Damn.
Gusto is
I'm
actually fit
second guessing
enough,
myself.
right? Was Gusto just on the
Gusto is.
bench?
I, f-
I didn't even consider
I
that.
forgot Gusto.
Was he just on
I
the
forgot
bench
Gusto was
against?
even in the
against
team.
yeah, was he? Here's the question I'm asking, Ty. Against Jagodin
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Was he just was he on the bench or was he just part of it because he traveled? But I think he's fit
He was
enough.
on the bench.
He was on the bench, so which means
Yeah.
he's fit
He
enough.
was on the bench. Yeah.
So, but do I think
Mm.
he plays tomorrow? Possibly. I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm. It's gonna be either him or James. I think Achimpong got the conference league match just for the sake of getting the game time there. I don't think he's definitely gonna start.
No, I don't think he
Um,
starts this game.
damn, I don't know. My thing is James. If James came off at halftime, maybe it's telling as well.
But those guys that came
But
came on again in the second half is also telling. The argument could be that they didn't
yeah,
start because they were going to start this game. So, so it
mhm.
makes it difficult, right?
Yeah. I think it's strategic because I'm looking at the substitutions. No, so we obviously know that the midfield. So I'm gonna say James. I'm gonna say not Gusto. Casado is gonna definitely start. That's a given. He came
I think
on
I agree with you on
in the
that one. So
second
you
half.
say Caicedo here or what? The right back who?
Yeah,
Caicedo?
yeah.
Okay. I can't spell. All right.
Lavia and Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, I think I agree with this one. But the fact that James could start makes a difference, or even Lavi, or even Gusto, who's the pacey of the two players, and he's
Yeah.
been good defensively of late, in my opinion. But so Lavia and who Enzo, right?
Enzo,
For the starting structure, that's what I call it because yeah, it changes the moment the game starts.
yeah. Um, mm, Cole Palmer definitely is going to start this match. So probably be the middle. Cole
Except
Palmer.
if his head is falling off. That's the only reason why
Oh
he
Jesus
won't start.
Christ.
No, but I'm saying that's the truth. But as long as he
Yeah,
can talk and walk and his head is still on his shoulders, he's gonna play.
yeah. Um, they'll all. I think. Wait, I'm gonna go back to this. This will be very telling. Hmm. Madueke is gonna be on that right hand side, or you know what, left hand side Madueke.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah,
experiment that moved everybody, and they want him to be starting there.
yeah. So Madueke on that left hand side, and Pedro Neto on the right.
Nerito. Okay.
And obviously it will be Nico Jackson because he obviously
Two,
is gonna start this match. He didn't start.
two goals hero.
Yeah, the 2 goals hero. He's people. The Nehemiah says he's gonna score a hattie. So I don't think I've ever
Mm.
heard the terminology hattie before. For a hat trick, but
Yeah, that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
He was close, yes, the two goals was. I get it. One an assist from Enzo
lucky.
Fernandez, right? But both he had work to do.
Mm. The second goal, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that was luck. The way he tripped and then the ball just bounced up in the air. It was just-
No, come on, Ty. Pay close
Can't
attention.
keep
Give
some
us some
stuff.
credit. Yeah, you just don't like
Yeah.
the guy. The second goal, when the ball got to him, there was a man in his front, right? He had
yeah.
to drag the ball like this, roll it to the side to position it before they're taking the shot.
I
Was
don't.
that with his left foot?
It was this weaker foot. That is why I'm
Yeah,
saying that
exactly.
has to be luck because the way the ball just bounced up in the air, it was just
Here's the time. If you don't buy tickets, you're never gonna win a lottery.
well, I don't know.
He tried.
It just seems so unnatural. His weak foot just powerful like that. No,
Give him credit, man.
Yeah, but the goal was so good.
It was good. Give him credit.
yeah, it was. It was.
Something new.
Also, big up to Jeff C. Garvin. Big up, bro.
UFC,
No,
go!
no, it's not the second goal. It probably be the first one then. It's not the second one. The second one is not the one I'm talking about then. But the second one, he walked the ball into the net. So obviously that
Okay,
was
so
a goal.
yeah,
It's good.
the first one, I'd still give him credit because he didn't
Yes.
give up. He persisted, and even though
Mhm.
yeah, it bounced off his shin and then fell luckily in his front, still he was able to put it away. We've seen players miss such chances, haven't we? So give him credit,
Yeah.
really. I mean, it's a confidence booster. He's got two. How many goals now?
3 goals in 2
Games?
games.
Yeah. So he's back, but his confidence is back. So
He's
we
back.
should be. You could say that we should be praying for Cole Palmer to score one with his butt.
Oh, no, 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 no,
The
no.
point is just score a goal. Just score
With
that
his
one.
butt, Jesus Christ. Oh.
But where you get the point, just get that one goal. It
Yeah,
will
just
make a
one
whole
goal.
lot of difference. Yeah.
I agree with you. One goal from just one
of,
goal,
no,
but
of all the body parts, why that part?
al- also, guys, before we give our score prediction, have you noticed that Kopama now is dropping too deep? Do you
Yeah,
think
you
that
see,
might affect his game?
no, I think he's doing that. Again, in my opinion, I think that makes him even more useful because he can actually play as a deep line playmaker.
Hmm.
I think he's making himself more useful, even though he's not scoring goals. He's been useful. I'd be lying to say, yeah, he's been useless. No, he's not been useless. The only thing he hasn't been doing is being as potent as he was in front of goal last season.
Hmm.
So
And
yeah,
he
I
had a,
actually don't mind that. He can that him dropping deep does go a long way for us.
and also he had a good chance to score, and then I don't know what happened there, but hopefully he can get his moment on Sunday against Liverpool. That will be very good for him to score a goal against Liverpool. So we'll wait and see.
Maybe Jackson's form will rub off on him. You never know.
Yeah,
Mm,
100%.
mm.
Yeah, Ty doesn't believe it.
Mm,
Yeah, who's hosting
mm.
next? Ty, right? Yeah, that's you. You missed a circle, and then I hosted.
Yeah.
So next one is you.
Uh-huh.
So be there, even if you have
No
a poor
pressure.
connection. Even if you have a poor connection, you see how we're doing it.
Yeah, I'm. I have to be using. I've had to be using my phone to
Yeah, it
come
doesn't
on
matter. Don't
this.
buy phones and laptops from a dollar store again.
Wow. No, no, you're telling me that after I spend thousands of dollars. Oh, gosh, man. Gosh, man.
Yeah, so
The network is a problem, man. The network is a problem because I'm using free
yeah.
Wi-Fi. That's the problem.
Oh, okay, no problem then. So any score prediction time? What is your score prediction?
Yeah, like I said, I want to say 2-1 to Chelsea, but I'm gonna say 1-1. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a draw more than anything. I don't think Liverpool are gonna just come out and just look and just be lackluster. I'm because Arne Slot is not that type of manager where he's gonna want the team to be complacent. Oh, we've won the league. Okay, let's just drop everything and just and that's just it. Yeah, and I think that's why he's rotating because I guess for some players who maybe parted too hard or they got too much
Ty
intimacy
just
with
made an
done.
excellent point. Rotation is actually good for them. He's removing those players that could become
Yeah.
complacent, that they've won it already,
Hmm.
bringing in players
Yeah.
that would want to show that they should be starting.
Yeah. They're hungry.
It's
Hungry. Yeah,
actually
they're
yeah,
hungry.
exactly. It's actually an ingenious idea. So it's never a good idea to make that many changes. That's one point. Another point
Yeah.
is our young players seeing those non-starters and go, we've already won this because of the mindset of inexperience of an inexperienced player. So that could be an ingenious move from him. Actually, go ahead, Ty.
Mm. Right. So that's the next thing as well. So, man, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a close match because all the matches, based on the insight as well, have shown that it's close and up for the past few seasons. Tuchel, because the Tuchel season, the full season, with Lukaku and all of that. I think that match ended in a draw. I think. I don't remember. So all of the matches,
Yeah, 1-1
basically, what
draw.
I'm saying is that all those matches have been close. And I remember the infamous match with Kovacic and Pulisic, scoring 2 goals, 2-2 that match. So the
Mm.
matches have been very close. And then Pochettino, we know how that went. So all of those things kind of gives you, and even the FA, the not the FA Cup, the EFL Cup. All the matches, even on the Tuchel, the penalty shootouts. So all of the matches have been very close for years. So I think the matches will remain close. And maybe hopefully it, the match but it's the best time to beat them because obviously some players will still be slightly complacent or overjoyed, but
It's
obviously
it's a
the quality will
subconscious
be
thing,
there.
right? You did say
Yeah,
how Anna Slot wouldn't want that to happen, but the truth remains
yeah,
also there are so many factors to consider. It is something he cannot
yeah,
control. It's a human thing.
yeah,
When
yeah.
you
So
achieve your goal, naturally you relent a bit, even when you don't want to.
yeah, yeah, because they have breathing space. So it's not a case of we must win this match. So
Yeah.
so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't play the way they usually play, where they try to pressurize you. They made us allow us to have the ball, and because that's a lot of teams have done that. They allow us to have the ball and pass it around and try to break them down. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. So the match will be close, but it's about what we do as well because they have the quick players and also depends on who plays as well because they have players who are actually good in their quote unquote B team. So yeah, all of that has to be considered. And players like Luis Diaz, who is linked with leaving, things like that, all come into play.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
gonna sell Luis Diaz. He's a serious fighter.
Yeah.
But
Also, and I hope Darwin Nunes tomorrow. I mean, on Sunday, doesn't come at Stamford Bridge become prime Ronaldo of Brazil because that guy is so
Oh
bad, man.
Jesus!
he's one.
Yeah, man.
What
Sometimes he
marvels?
strikes his ball.
Yeah. What marvels me about that kid is that he will do everything right, but even if you expand, increase the width of the goalpost, he still miss it. I think I don't know if it's definitely a mental thing. And I think once he recalibrates, and I think he's gonna become a goal machine again. I hope he does that soon because it's not like he doesn't fight. It's not like he doesn't make the right runs. He does everything well. It's just putting away the chances that come his way. His
Yeah,
industry
100.
is good. Everything. I just don't know.
Yeah, 100%. So also my score prediction will be 2-1 Chelsea because I think getting 3 points will give us a more uh, edge against what you call it, Newcastle and Forest because I'm looking at them that one of them will slip up so that we can be in the top four.
Yeah,
So
I think was their name definitely Nottingham Forest definitely will they're not going to be there. I'm more concerned about Aston Villa. I get it. They lost their last game. Um, they're not going to be there. But Nottingham Forest definitely will be out there. Aston Villa could still come back in, which create a problem for us. Let me look at their subsequent games if you don't mind.
okay, no problem.
Yeah. Fulham, you could say out of reach right now. I can't see it. Let me see if I see it here quickly. Sorry for keeping you awake, to be I know you should be in bed.
Yeah,
Um.
actually, it's better today. I'm not going to work, so at least I can stay up for now.
Oh, okay. And watch games tomorrow too. So their next games are against Fulham, mm, Bournemouth. Ooh, they're not. They're not gonna be there. I just remember I said that. I don't think they'd be there. I think Fulham. I think Fulham can beat them, but they they're not gonna be there.
Mm.
They will not be there. Unfortunately, they've lost two in a row, and yeah, they're looking dang it. Before that, two in a
So
row, they beat PSG, beat Southampton. I don't think they will be there. They probably end up maybe drawing the three of those games and winning just one, or even losing the three and winning just one. But And now I'm just making SHIT up. But just go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. But again, I think overall we have the toughest fixtures. But again, it is the Premier League. Never rule anyone out. Everyone can drop points. Look at Forest yesterday. They dropped points against Brentford away at home. Just imagine. So anything is possible. Hopefully, we secure the top five spot because it will give us a chance of signing good players. Also, a sponsorship deal for us to have a sponsor next season. That's the main issue we're having at the moment. We cannot attract bigger sponsors because we're not finishing the Champions League spot. So hopefully the players are going to give their effort, all their efforts until the end of the season.
That's the
Yeah, we
thing.
are. We are. I just hope also
So
we get that stadium deal we're looking for to go to a bigger stadium and be playing there for a while. I think that will go a long way. Um, and the future is bright, and we're being proactive. Have they been perfect? No, but we're being proactive. Look, the playing field has been made a lot how do I put more level than it was before. That's why you see a lot of teams competing to be
mm,
in the top five, because the big boys, you don't have the right to spend because you have it. But we've been proactive in the market, signing emerging talents and nurturing them either at our club or out on loan. But a lot of people didn't get that. I think we could have done things a lot better. And but we'll in the future, in a year or two, actually, we'll look back and say they knew exactly what they were doing. But I've always known that was the case, even though I wanted us to sound more experienced so that we can start winning right now. But that's, by the way, before I waffle into another topic, I gotta go cook too.
yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for being here. And also, guys, on the chat, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, subscribe to Chelsea Perspective and Chelsea Session. So, Coach, before we go, what is your score prediction?
I'm I'm gonna go for um whoosh. Okay, let me stick with what my instinct tells me.
Yeah.
Even the honest Lord, he understands, even though a lot of people misread that, he understands that making changes would mean that he's reducing the risk of complacency. And Ty touched on it, which triggered that thought in my brain, and then he explained it even better. Hungry players would do even better. So we'd be better off having him start all his starters, which subconsciously they know there's nothing really to work for. But you don't need to tell that to players who want to show that they can actually be part of the starting 11. That's a risk. But I'm going to stick with that. Maybe that being an issue to an extent because they haven't been playing consistently, or too many changes in football will almost always present some measure of issue, irrespective of how you see it. I'm going to stick with that issue, that aspect of making a lot of changes, how it can be problematic, and the fact that the entity Liverpool won the title. So probably complacency to was still certain to a certain measure, maybe with the big guns that have been starting, because he's not going to change the entire 11. So I say maybe Chelsea will beat them by 3 goals to 2. I think I get it. They've not been considering a lot. We've not been considering a lot. But for us, I think we will risk a lot to win, even though Maresca of late, you can say our players have played with a lot of balance, quote unquote, what some people call boring football. They don't understand the importance of picking and choose when you attack and not risk a lot defensively. Um, I think, yeah, they would want to win. They will. They know there's no need for them to like be defensive. No need for them to do that. I think they will come at us, nothing to lose. And if we exploit the spaces that we're leaving behind effectively and play with the slightest of balance, I think we'll get a win, but we'll still concede because of lack of experience and the pressure, knowing that we need to win that game. I think we'll get to our players, just like you explained the last time we had the show before the weekend, where the other teams that are vying for places in the top 5 played before us. You did remind us that would put pressure on the players, and you could argue it happened, and I think it's going to happen because a lot of them will play. Two of them two have played already, right? One lost, one won. Man City beat Wolves today, right? So that's pressure
Yes.
on us. So I think we'll concede due to pressure. I think we're going to beat them by 3-2.
Very interesting. So, guys, thank you
Very
for watching.
interessante.
Say
Sorry?
again.
Muy interesante.
Go away.
He speaks Espanol.
Yeah, Spanish. Spanish. Yeah. So, thank you, Coach, for being here. Ty, Myra, we had CFC Gavin, for I don't want to say the first name because Coach will say I'm butchering their name. We have Siaka, South Africa. So thank you guys for watching. Up the Charles. Hopefully we win on Sunday so that we can have a good momentum until the end of the season. Up the Charles. Cheers, guys.
Yes, everyone.